Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Rockets video. I wanted to do a weekly close on them yesterday, but that Lakers game went till like past midnight for me, so wasn't able to get around to it. Hope you guys are having a good Monday. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. If you want Rockets content, I post it every single day. Friendly reminder, I have a daily Houston Rockets channel down below as well. Last night sucked, but this next week might suck even more. So the Rockets are currently 1-5, 13th in the Western Conference. The week's going to be challenging. They're going to play the Lakers in LA. All these games are on the road. So they have 4 games on the road this week. In LA, playing the Lakers. At Phoenix, playing the Suns. At Denver, playing the Nuggets. And then at Golden State in a back-to-back playing the Warriors. So it's not going to be all that pretty of a week, is my guess. The Rockets, then again, they could turn it around, although I haven't seen enough from them in the last 2 games to like really have me like confidently say like, oh, I think the Rockets could pull off 2 wins this week. I think pulling off 2 wins for this upcoming week on that 40-game stretch would be a massive success. But I really wanted to make this video on last night's game. I don't think the Rockets are as bad as a lot of people are giving them credit for. Last night was a man, dude, I mean, it's going to be a long season. I think we can all agree about that. I mean, it's going to be a long season. There's going to be a lot of headaches, and that is exactly what you saw last night. It's exactly what we've seen pretty much like every game, but maybe 1 or 2 so far this season. The good news is we're only 6 games in, so it's only going to improve, but right now it's rocky. It's tough to watch. I would almost rather watch like... It's crazy because the last 7 games have sucked. The last 6 games have sucked. I would almost rather watch the last 7 games of last year than the start of this first 7 games this year. That's how bad some of these games have been. Last night, the Rockets, they only shot 42% from the field. They shot 21% from downtown. They did out-rebound Los Angeles by 18, which is very surprising. But then you look at that turnover count, 25 turnovers. I mean, it's absolutely unacceptable. Then you look at the free throws, 51.7%, 15 of 29 from the free throw line. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. Like, that is 100% absolutely unacceptable. I mean, if they made all 14 of those, they won the game by 4. I'm not saying that's how it would have gone, but it sucks. The Rockets would go on a little roll here in the fourth quarter. They'd go on a little run, and then they miss a free throw. Kevin Porter Jr. would get an and one, miss the free throw. It's like, are you guys trying to screw yourselves? Christian Wood, 1 of 7 from the free throw line last night. Jalen Green, 3 of 6 from the free throw line. And then you also had some missed free throws from Eric Gordon, Alfred Şengün, Kevin Porter Jr., Daniel Tice. So just collectively as a unit, like, the last couple of games, I don't know what it has been this year about free throw shooting. Maybe Silas doesn't emphasize it. I don't know. I have zero idea what is going on from the free throw line, but it is single-handedly, that and turnovers, it's single-handedly losing basketball games for Houston every single night. I mean, it's every single game. You can go back and look at it. Free throw percentage, not pretty. Turnovers, not pretty. So couple that in with some bad shooting night. I mean, you're not going to beat the Los Angeles Lakers. They did hold Los Angeles to under 100 points. They only scored 95. I think it was pretty impressive. LA was just shooting horribly. They shot like 40%. Anthony Davis, 30 minutes. Russ, 30 minutes. LeBron James, 30-plus minutes. So the fact they were able to hold them to 95, I think they're I actually think this Rockets team is a lot better than we're giving them credit for. If John Wall was on this roster, they'd have 2 wins. I don't think that they would be much more than 2-4, maybe 3-3, but they would 100% not be looking like this if they had John Wall. John Wall brings a spark on defense, brings a spark on offense. He can play make, he can facilitate. 20-7. It sucks that we actually have to trade him because the more I see, the more I watch, it's like, all right, we are really forcing Kevin Porter Jr. to learn how to play point guard. I don't know if it's sticking that well right now. It does not look like it's sticking that well. He's averaging 5.5 turnovers per game, which I mean, it's horrible. Unless you're Kevin Durant, you cannot be averaging 5.5 turnovers per game. He's in his third season, so I anticipate this to get fixed. If it doesn't get fixed this season, if those turnovers for some reason would be over 5, I mean, I wouldn't even know what to say. You can't have that. If Kevin Porter Jr. keeps this up the whole rest of the season, he's not a point guard. He's just not a point guard. I mean, you can't. That's so inefficient. They would just be. They're like searching for a James Harden. Like, I don't know what it is. I think KPJ is just having a bad couple of games. He's shooting really bad this season from the field. He's shooting like 40% from downtown. Much more improved. He's shooting 36% from downtown. So you do see improvement in that category. The thing is with Kevin is I need to see him be more aggressive. He was a little bit more aggressive last night, especially getting to the paint. He only had one free throw there, and it was at the very end of the game. I just think he needs to be more aggressive and take more shot attempts. I'm hoping teams aren't like starting to figure him out a little bit more, which they could be because, I mean, this season, 41% is not great. He is averaging 30 minutes per game. He's only taken 11 field goals per game compared to 14 last year. It's not time to worry about Kevin Porter Jr. at all, but it would just be so much nicer if we had John Wall out there so Kevin could kind of like at least take some stress off of his back. I've seen a bunch of people on Twitter and on just social media sites in general saying KPJ is not a point guard and that they need to figure something out. If he's not a point guard, yeah, I mean, that would really suck. They wouldn't be screwed, but that would suck a lot. They desperately need a small forward. And let's just talk about that right out of the get-go. I'll talk about Jalen Green here in a second, but Jae'Sean Tate, man, to me, after this year, I'm done with him in the starting lineup. If we have to trade away Jae'Sean Tate, I think Jae'Sean Tate is a good trade piece. I think that the Rockets could actually be looking to trade him away. It sucks because I love Jae'Sean. He's really a solid defender, and he can score down in the paint. Like, he can make his own bucket in the paint for himself. Like, he played big man. He was a big man at Ohio State. Played a couple years overseas. He is a little bit up there in age. He's like 26 years old, but it's not the end of the world. The thing with Jae'Sean, and the reason I want to see him on the bench after this season, is he can't shoot the three ball. I mean, it's just, he can't do it. He's shooting 18% from downtown right now, and that's not going to work for me, man. We're in, if it was 1990, 100%. 100%, I have no issue with Jae'Sean Tate. If it was any year before, like, honestly, 2015, I know you don't need three-point shooting to win championships, as the Milwaukee Bucks demonstrated, but Jae'Sean Tate, I just don't think he's going to turn out to be a star player, and if he's not going to be a star player, you might as well start trying to find a star small forward. So that's really the only thing with Jae'Sean. I don't have an agenda on him, or I don't have anything against him. I hope he remains with the Rockets, and in fact, I hope he breaks out this year and completely proves me wrong, because like I said, I mean, we're 6 games into it. These are way too early, like, reactions. So that's my initial thought on Jae'Sean, is I'm just, like, loving what I'm seeing from KJ Martin Jr. He had another good game last night, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 6 of 8 from the field, threw in a steal. He only played, like, 16, 15 minutes. So I would rather have Jae'Sean Tate go onto the bench, help out that bench unit while you see. And you can keep Jae'Sean Tate's. I mean, Jae'Sean's minutes are way lower than they were last year. They're like 22 or something. You could throw KJ in the starting lineup, only give him like 20 minutes per game, and Jae'Sean can still try and get 25 off the bench and maybe even close games. But I would like to see at least what KJ can do if he gets unleashed. Jalen Green, I mean, he's struggling right now. I mean, he is really, really struggling right now. Evan Mobley, he is not struggling one bit. But Jalen, he'll get his footing. The issue I'm seeing with Jalen Green, and this is not what a lot of fans are going to want to hear, is, I mean, he's looking more just like a, I don't really know what he offers me outside of athleticism and scoring. I don't, it really, really sucks because I'm so high on this guy. So far this season, 32 minutes, he's shooting 34% from the field, and he's shooting 29% from downtown. He's averaging 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal per game. That's my issue with Jalen, is he's not shooting the ball well right now. So if he's not shooting the ball well and he's not even getting to the rim, he's not scoring baskets, he's not making free throws, what's he doing? I mean, and it's kind of starting to see what, like, that's what we're seeing right now, is if he wasn't freaky athletic, like, what's he doing for me? Because he's not a shooter necessarily. Like, I wouldn't classify Jalen Green as a shooter. I don't even know, like, what you would, like, what is Jalen Green's skill set? Is it scoring? It's definitely scoring. It's not shooting the ball. So Jalen, he'll get it going. He'll get it going. I mean, he had that 30-point game against Boston. He'll get it going. It's just taken this team a little bit longer than I think we all had anticipated. I think what a lot of us were hoping for is we'd see, like, glimpses, and we just haven't really been seeing glimpses from KPJ or Jalen Green as that backcourt duo that we're all kind of envisioning of. It just hasn't happened yet. But like I said, we're 6 games in. It's nothing to freak out about. Christian Wood last night, he played really good. I thought he played really good. He wasn't shooting the ball too well from downtown. 16 points, 13 rebounds on 7 of 15 shooting. I will take that every single time he steps out onto the court. Christian Wood is kind of the savior right now for the Rockets. Some nights he might not be shooting the best, especially from downtown. But, I mean, defensively, improving. Offensively, he's improving. On the season, he's averaging 19 points and 11.5 rebounds. So I love what I'm seeing from Christian Wood right now. 47% from the field and then 41% from downtown. That is exactly what I want to see. So loving it from Christian Wood. He's really keeping these guys in it for the most part. Daniel Tice, he won't be starting for long. Alfred Şengün doesn't look ready every single night. Keep in mind he's a rookie, so that's why he doesn't look ready. We're 6 games in. So I think it's the same thing with, and this is another reason why I would have loved to have John Wall start, KPJ be the 2 guard, and then Jalen Green comes off the bench, because I just feel like they need to get their footing, and that's what Alfred Şengün is doing right now. It's what he's been doing all year. 11.7 rebounds, 2 assists for him last night. He had 3 steals. He only played in 20 minutes. Now, he did have 4 turnovers, and all 4 of them were just extremely sloppy, but 6 games into his rookie year, so you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Alfred Şengün. He might even be starting before All-Star break. Daniel Tice, I mean, that signing, it's just so questionable, but at the same time, it's questionable, but at the same time, it's not, because outside of Daniel Tice, the Rockets literally have nobody except for Usman Garuba, who they decide to play for 1 minute every single, like 1 or 2 minutes every single night. They have Christian Wood, but, you know, Christian's only as tall. Christian Wood's one big tall man, and then they have nobody else. Is literally it. It is literally Christian Wood, Alfred Şengün, and now they have Daniel Tice. So they needed to get somebody, and Daniel Tice, I made that video right when it happened. I was like, I don't know what this means really, and everyone was like, no. But he does demonstrate his worth, just not statistically ever. Daniel Tice probably will never statistically demonstrate his worth on a night-to-night basis, but I'm still not really seeing the same production that he was doing in Chicago last year, but I think it's just taken this team a lot longer than we all anticipated to get it going. So we got a tough week here, but if they can pull off 1 win against one of these teams, that might just be a success in its own. 2-8 through your first 10, that's nothing to really be excited about. So if you wanted still try and make the playoffs, you probably need to go 3-1 here, maybe even 4-0 just to get that confidence going, get back to 500. But you definitely need to pick up at least 2 wins. So let me know how many wins you guys think the Rockets will get this week. I'm going to go ahead and say 1. I don't know which game. Hopefully it happens against the Lakers, because LA's a little dysfunctional right now at the current moment, and they didn't look too bad just outside of the like horrible turnovers and free throw issue. So that's it for today, guys. Hit the like button, hit that sub button. Peace.